If you're a blogger or content creator and you feel like you're working way too hard for the results you're getting, we need you to hear this. The Smart Influencer Summit is happening this April, and this is not another fluffy conference where you take notes and change nothing. This is a working summit.
We're bringing together serious creators who are ready to tighten up their systems, fix their monetization leaks, and finally build a business that doesn't depend on hustle mode 24/7. It's intimate, it's strategic, and it's built for creators who are past the beginner phase, but not quite at team of 20 and private equity level. If you're tired of guessing and ready to execute with clarity, grab your ticket now at thesmartinfluencer.com/summit. We'll see you in the room. Welcome to the Smart Influencer Podcast. If you're tired of chasing algorithms, second guessing your strategy, or feeling like you're doing all the things without seeing the growth you want, you're in the right place.
We're your hosts. I'm Christina.
And I'm Corinne.
And we're bloggers, business owners, systems nerds, and founders of the Smart Influencer. Between the two of us, we've built multiple six-figure brands, launched digital products, hosted live events, and coached creators who are ready to level up.
Each week, we break down what's actually working in today's creator economy, from monetization and list growth to systems, automation, and building a business that doesn't own you. Because this isn't about hustling harder.
It's about building smarter. Let's get into it. So today we're excited to be chatting with Ben from Grocer's List all about their program and all of the new features he has coming out. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here with you both.
Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So, hey, everyone, I'm Ben JABBAWY. I'm one of the founders here at Grocer's List. We are a platform focused on helping creators drive more traffic and revenue from social media. We work today with about 2,000 creators. Many of those are in the food space, but we also have many brands and other types of creators, travel, you name it, different verticals that are really looking for ways to grow their traffic, grow their email list, and diversify income into things like affiliate and paid memberships. So I'm sure we'll chat all about that. My background, just quickly, is about 20 years now in the technology for entrepreneurs space, I guess you could say. I built a company called Privy.com that was an email marketing platform for Shopify stores before this, and worked on that for about 10 years. So
Is that still around?
yeah, we got bought out in 2021, which was a really cool experience, and I loved working for the company that bought us. But Privy.com still going. They've got hundreds of thousands of Shopify stores that use them today. It's kind of fun to watch.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been in this space for a long time. You know what influencers are looking for.
Totally. Yeah.
Which
So
is clear from Grocer's List. Like it is, every time I check, you guys have something new that you're doing. Like you are the fastest builder.
That's great. I'll share that with the team. They'll be excited.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
our
incredible.
philosophy is that, if you look around at a lot of the platforms that content creators have adopted, innovation slows way down, and having been there as my last company got bigger, I do understand that and how you find yourself in that spot. But the more that you can help your existing customers in new ways, the better you are. And I think we're still pretty new. We're about a year and a half old. But I think a big part of why we've grown quickly is because of that. We're constantly adding value, even if you haven't yet taken advantage of all the new features. Hopefully someday you will. But I think it's about offering great support, continuing to innovate for your customers, and moving quickly in doing that.
Well, we can tell you really have your ear to the ground with, keeping track of what the users are asking for and what those needs are. And that's, I think, has been super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, personally spend most of my time talking to customers, we have an amazing team with me, obviously, that does the development and the support, but even our engineers are
Mhm.
meeting with customers. Everyone on the team spends time with customers, really, and I think that that makes it easier for us to have conviction in what to fix and what to build next. When you hear the same feature request 10 times from
Mhm.
different customers, okay, there's a lot of demand for this. We should improve that.
Yeah.
So let's pause for a second. So for any, because you are newer, although I will say, like most of the bloggers that I like am in masterminds or in groups with, know grocers list. But for anyone that's listening that somehow doesn't know what it is, like let's go way back to the beginning. Like at the start, what I knew you for, and so I'm not sure if this was your initial offering, but I think so, was like the comment, like for us to DM you the link, essentially, right? Is
Exactly.
that how you started?
Exactly. So our first product, the one we're most well known for, is comment for DM, because on Instagram, none of the links are clickable.
Mhm.
And so for folks that monetize on the traffic on their website, just making it easier for their audience to actually access the piece of content that they want through comment for DM automations, that was what kind of put us on the map. We've expanded to Facebook, we've expanded to other kind of areas, but that's really our bread and butter today. We're sending about almost 10 million messages a month
Wow.
for creators now.
Okay, so before we go on to the other like services or products that you have within Grocers List, let's talk about that because when you started, ManyChat was already established, or at least I heard of ManyChat before I learned of Grocers List. So, and I when I signed up with Grocers List. I know why,
Oh,
but
thank
can
you.
we talk a
Thank
little
you.
bit about that, about what makes you different than ManyChat?
Yeah. ManyChat is an incredible platform. It's been around for a very long time, and I have nothing but respect for that organization and what they've built. I think the nice part about building tools for a very specific type of business owner like we do is that you can remove a lot of friction by automating a lot of things if you understand the workflows that they're trying to achieve,
Mhm.
right? And so I think ManyChat is an amazing platform if you are the type of business owner that wants to take 10 to 20 minutes a day to set up an automation for your upcoming post.
Right.
I
Right.
think if you look at the behavior in, I'll take the food vertical as an example, the thing that we found is that a content creator in food might have 1,000 recipes and they're posting on Instagram once a day, sometimes more.
Mhm.
And so to ask them to take 10 to 20 minutes out of their day to set something up, I think is unrealistic. And so I think the initial reason we were picking up traction was we eliminated that step entirely for people that include the link to the post that they want to send to in their caption.
Right.
We've also expanded that to include if you want to put the link in your comment. And so that, plus the fact that we automatically pull in a beautiful image of the recipe that you had selected when you post on Instagram, it's called the cover image. Those two things eliminated the need entirely for you to like log into Grocers List and set this up in advance of the post. And the reason we did that was to save time, but we had also heard that there's like this stressful moment for so many creators when they're setting this up in ManyChat where it's like, okay, is this going to work? And like,
Mhm.
they post on Instagram and they have to like quickly hurry to the computer to check to make sure it's all set up.
Right.
So I think because we eliminated all of that, people really loved that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that was why I went with you guys because it was a one-time setup where like and I do like because I know the feature because I'm on the site so I don't forget to hit any of these. Like well it's called comment for recipe. And that was originally why I didn't sign up. Like my friends, most of my friends are food bloggers and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm using Grocers List for this." I'm like, "Well, I don't just do recipes. I'm a lifestyle blog, so I send out printables, I've got parenting resources." So I just changed that wording so it's generic, but like you said, I just always made sure that the link was in the caption. And now I set it up once. And now anytime, like they could just comment, right? Like link and then get the link sent to their DM instead of me for every single post. Because Instagram's not a huge moneymaker for me, but I
Sure.
need to have a presence there, right? Like brands look for it. Some fans look for it, and it's just another way to be exposed. But because it doesn't make a lot of money for me, I didn't want to spend a lot of time there. So yeah, that 10 minutes a day was like a big, like
Yeah.
it would have stopped me from doing it, just period.
That's what
Totally.
stopped me from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon because I'm like, I don't have an extra 10, 20, 30 minutes, depending on where I'm posting a day to do that. And
Right.
then to manage it, to stay on top of it and double check it. And
Yeah.
it's
It's
all
just got to
about,
work, you know?
yes. Yeah. And it's,
And that's a big part of like our approach to product
yeah.
development.
Yeah. No, that's, and I think that that is just having your ear to the ground and picking up on those little things makes such a big difference. Because I'm
Right.
sure on your end, I'm assuming it was a smaller tweak for you to do, like an easy fix. But for us, that was like game changing.
That's great to hear. I also, Corinne, I just want to touch on something that you
Yeah.
mentioned. You have some recipe content. You're also lifestyle. I think over the last 2 years, really since we got started, there has been a big shift. And so even people that might have historically only been recipe content are feeling the same way that you feel, where, okay, they've opened up an affiliate stream and they're
Right.
posting Amazon affiliate links and they're posting, you name it, right? And so originally, when we first started, all the content and the templates, whatever, they said the word recipe in
Right.
them. We changed all of that to have it just say link by
Yeah.
default.
Right.
And I think, even as we look to the future of what comes next for us, we definitely have plans to expand into products that are still relevant to all creators.
Mhm.
Um, Food is a great vertical
Right.
for content creation. So we'll continue to focus there, but really just trying to make it easy for anyone.
Right. And I'm glad because I think people hear grocers list and you automatically think food, but like by all means, any other blogger can
Mhm.
use this. I think, and that's the key difference. Because again, you're right, ManyChat's fantastic. I think for digital marketers, that's really great, where you maybe only have a few key opt-ins and you want to get them in the funnel and you can set that up, just once early on. But when you've got thousands of posts, like this is fantastic. But there's nothing now that I feel like makes it more food than say travel or lifestyle.
Right.
Like I can't, I haven't come
No.
across anything when I'm in there that I can't do because my content's different than recipes.
Yeah, I think at its core, the key difference, so we talked about time being a huge time saver, the way you set up your posts with us. If you want, you can still log in and customize it in advance. We have those options, but the other two big differences with us are the visuals that we pull in. So
Yeah.
if you've ever engaged with a DM from ManyChat, you know that because it's a lot of text and there's no visuals.
Mhm.
Um, with us, by pulling in the cover image, or you can certainly upload a different image if you don't want that, we see 75% click-through rates on the DM. And
Wow.
so
Wow.
that is really, really high. And for a lot of our customers who come over from ManyChat, they tell us that, maybe they're at 50% or 60%, but the visual alone kind of brings that continuity for your audience who was just engaging with your video or your post. They get this DM, there's that visual connection. And so, you're more tempted to click through when there's an image that
That's really
matches what brought
compelling
you there.
data.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then the other big thing was just kind of our focus on list growth. So because of our background in email marketing, we just are huge believers that an email list is something that you own, right? And so even as the algorithms change, even as AI becomes more prevalent, whatever, right? There's a lot of stuff happening all the time.
Right.
If you can move people from social to email and do that in a way that's actually adding convenience for them,
Yeah.
Right.
right? That's the key. And so we rolled out this save to email button which if you turn it on is really just a convenient option if that person wants to say, hey, DM is not the best spot for this. Let me email this link to myself
Mhm.
instead. And as part of that, we've got like the proper compliant opt-in language that then you can automatically move them to Kit or Flowdesk or MailerLite, or, we're rolling out other ones as well. So that's been huge. The data that we see there is about 5% of the people that receive your DMs end up opting in to your list and use that more than once. So if I'm Ben and I get a DM from Christina with a link and it has saved to email, the first time I do that, I'm prompted, by Christina. It looks like she's responding to me. Awesome. I'll send this over right now. What's your email? I punch in my email. I get the confirmation. But if I do that again on Christina's next post or 3 weeks from now, when I click save to email, because I've already opted into her DM,
It just goes.
it just goes to the thanks, check your inbox for the link. And
That's
so
awesome.
it's another convenient thing that drives traffic inside
I
the
love that
DMs.
because it reduces the friction on
Yeah.
that second opt-in.
Yeah. When I did my
Even my
Exactly.
email
onboarding,
service doesn't do that well. Maybe on gated print, but like on my opt-ins, it doesn't. You've got to enter your email address again.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because when you're on a website, I mean, I know this because my last company was pop-ups. When you're on a website, a pop-up feels intrusive, right? It's all part of the game. We need to grow our email list.
right,
But when you're in a DM and it's a secondary call to action, like you can email this to yourself, it's just a slightly nuanced thing. But I think everyone that uses that feature has been like, wow, this is really growing my email list.
Well, and I think as a user, right, we're asking them what they want. Like, what is their preferred method? We're not forcing them into one
right,
path or another. We're giving them that option. And I would think, like, I know me as a user using it, I would be thrilled for that, saying, oh, yeah, well, I don't really go into my DMs all that much. Let me send it to my email where I spend more time.
right.
I
Yeah.
like having that option. But I feel like you've got everybody trained so well because I can't tell you how many emails I get that say just the word recipe. Like, I'm like, wrong platform to do
Oh,
that.
that's so funny.
But for the longest time, I could not figure out why I was getting these random emails from people that said like link or recipe. And I'm like, I'm going to need a little
Wow.
more context than that. But now it's like all clicking together. Like, once I did my onboarding, I'm like, this is why they're doing
That's
it. They're
hilarious.
thinking they're on Instagram.
That is funny.
So funny.
Okay, I
Yeah.
want to come back to something you touched on very, very briefly, but we earlier when you were talking about the different ways that people are using Instagram and using grocers lists now, and you had mentioned that people are doing a lot more Amazon, right? They're wanting to promote affiliate
Yeah.
links. So that was another thing you guys rolled out, and I don't know why I was like afraid to do this. I think because I needed a whole new content strategy if I was going to do affiliates on Instagram. So I didn't activate that yet, but you have a deep linking system, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can speak to that a little bit.
Okay.
So, whenever we're talking to customers and we hear frustration about something else that they do, or, they're paying for something that they're not happy with, like our ears perk up and we say, okay, is there room for a fresh approach here that kind of like we did for comment DM, for DM could be faster, easier, and drive more value? And
Mhm.
so we started to hear about a year and a half ago, really, that people were doing well with Amazon affiliates. And so Amazon affiliate is you have to kind of qualify, but once you're in their program, you have a login, you can log in, you can grab affiliate links for the products that you like and you want to promote. And if people buy those, you get a cut, right?
Mhm.
The interesting thing, and there's different theories about why this is, so I'm happy to opine. The interesting thing is from inside of Instagram or Facebook, if you post an affiliate link for Amazon, the way they give it to you, if someone clicks that, it doesn't actually open them into the Amazon app on
Right.
their phone. And so what happens instead is it keeps you inside of Instagram. It opens the Instagram browser with your affiliate cookie to the product, except as the person who clicked it, I'm not signed in.
Right.
I swear I set up my Amazon account, whatever, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I have it on my phone. I don't know the password to that thing, right?
Yeah.
And so if I'm instructed to buy something on Amazon, but I'm not like logged in with my payment info and whatever, no shot, right? And so what I'll do is maybe I'll take a screenshot of it and then go open Amazon if it was something important and just buy it myself,
Yeah.
which means rather than driving a click to like your website that you're monetizing, you've just tried to drive an affiliate sale,
Right.
but you're not getting credit for it,
Yeah.
right? So what a deep link is basically you take your affiliate link, you paste it in, we give you a new link back. And if you promote that link on social media and someone clicks that link, it keeps your affiliate ID and cookie, but it checks their phone. And if Amazon is available on their phone, it loads them to the right spot inside the Amazon app. So there's about 3 to 5 times higher likelihood of them converting, which is great for you, the affiliate. So we started testing that. People were like, wow, this is amazing. There's also a lot of kind of like there's ManyChat. There's URL Genius is this other company that's been around for a while. Super powerful product, but kind of we saw this opportunity where it's like they do a lot for a lot of different people. And what we're hearing is like a lot of our customers are new to affiliate. They like Amazon. That's kind of all they care about. And so we were like, let's just make this, 1 second or less of work. And on top of that, we have a plugin if you're on WordPress, because some people are like, hey, I'm making money off of Amazon affiliate now, but I have 1,000 posts on my WordPress site. A lot of those have Amazon affiliate links in them. Do I have to go through and do all of this myself, right? Switch that out for a new deep link. And so those are the kind of two things. You can just paste in your affiliate link, get a new one back that's a deep link and promote that on social, or you can use our plugin and we'll kind of in 30 seconds scan all your historical posts. We'll look for any Amazon link on that and we'll convert that for you into a deep link. So there's a few different ways that people have used that from us.
I love that.
I'm doing that right away.
I know.
Yeah, I think
Keep me looking down. I'm making notes.
also, we have a great, I mean, I think we published it as a case study, but we have a customer, Mary Smith, that I was working with. She was like one of the earlier ones to adopt our deep links, and she was kind of new to Amazon affiliates when we first started working together. And she was just kind of like, I have basically no affiliate revenue. And she wanted to set a goal for herself, like, hey, in each day in Instagram stories, just take something that she's using in her life that she actually loves, post a picture of it, use a deep link, and see what happens. And I mean, like, I don't speak with her as frequently anymore, but we used to speak regularly. And she was like, oh my God, like she basically went from 0 to, I think it was like 3,000 in maybe 2,000 or 3,000 in Amazon affiliate commissions in that first month, And so now I check back in, I see her still promoting Amazon products pretty regularly. It's like, that's meaningful money in a world where for many traffic may be down or RPMs are certainly down. It's the beginning of the year. So I think that's kind of what this is all about, is like, can you make it easier for content creators to experiment without feeling like they have to choose between ad revenue and other things,
Or just even making that process so cumbersome that we don't even want to experiment, because it's
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I have to do 15. I always say that everything in blogging takes 14 steps.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing that is simple to do. Everything takes 14 steps. But I feel like like I know we've said this a couple of times, just eliminating those friction points and making it super simple really is the game changer there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that's been a fun one to work on for people.
Yeah. So you
What?
mentioned stories, and you can use grocers list services in stories as well.
That's a whole, yeah, we should talk about that. Our fastest growing feature is something we call story reply.
Hmm.
And the background on this is, I think, a few things. For one, there have been so many changes to the algorithm and how consumers are using Instagram that a lot of content creators have just told us that their feed is completely dead. And people that used to go viral or used to get tons of great engagement basically have none.
Hmm.
So that's one macro. The other is that, like, obviously Instagram, their whole app is oriented around stories, right? It's the first thing you see at the top when you log in, and
Right.
supposedly that's where the most engagement on Instagram lives. And so if you think about Instagram or Meta, they're incentivized to keep you in the app,
Mhm.
right? That's why links aren't clickable on Instagram. And so in stories, that's a spot where they have made it easy to add a link. But if you think about it from Instagram's perspective, if your stories include links that have people leaving Instagram, that's okay, obviously, but they don't love that. And
Right.
so the ultimate metric for a story is how many replies it gets.
Mm.
And so story reply automations, you basically set up a word. Let's say it's, I don't know, um, headphones. I'm just making this up because I'm wearing headphones. You set up the DM, you paste in, maybe it's your affiliate link, or maybe it's a link to your post about your favorite headphones, whatever. And when you go to your story to publish a story, rather than putting a link, whether it's a video or an image, you just say, hey, if you want the link for this thing, just reply to this story with the word headphones and I'll send it to you. And what we've found is that if you let all of yesterday's stories expire, or just clean them out, delete them, and you kick off a new batch of stories where that first frame of the story is asking for the reply, what Instagram sees is, wow, here's a story from this creator that's getting a ton of replies. And there's no link element in it.
Mm.
Let's show this to a much higher percentage of this person's audience. And people are like, there's a lot of non-believers about this, and I love working with them because as soon as they try it, they're like, oh my God, like this, it's like some people are like more than 10 times more reach on their stories. We just published a case study in like a mini Instagram reel on our account, from Joy to the Food, who I think it was like over 40 times
Wow.
improvement in her story reach. And
Ben, is that specifically Instagram stories or does it also work on Facebook stories?
both,
Okay.
both. Yeah, you can choose. And I think she's driven over 100,000 clicks now through stories
Wow.
only and the story reply automation. So everything changes every few months. So I don't know how long this will be as effective as it has been, but I will say right now, over the last like 4 or 6 months, we have a lot of customers that tell us they drive way more traffic to their content site through story reply than through the posts in their feed, which was really eye-opening for us to hear.
Yeah. That's so if you're not doing that now, listeners, go give this a try.
Yeah.
That's your takeaway from right now. That's your nugget. Go give that a try.
I think actually just broadly, even, forget about our platform for a second. I think a lot of the success that content creators are seeing really lives in stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard. It's a different play for some people that
Hmm.
don't spend a lot of time on social media, but I think that's probably the biggest key to success on Instagram specifically right now.
Good to know.
Interesting.
So another service that you're offering, and I think you've just rolled this out, and I was so excited to learn about it when I was talking with Juliana, is the paid memberships. I think there is so much potential there. You have eliminated so much of the hard work. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I think it's important to understand like the why behind when we do something new. And for this one, um, we've observed, and we have a lot of customers that have been very successful on Substack,
Hmm.
which again, another fantastic platform. Um, but as someone who's spent their whole career in email, I can't help but think about a few things. One, you in the content creation space, especially those that are on WordPress, have probably spent the last, whether it's 2, 5, 10, 15, some 20 years building out their website as the hub of everything they do,
Right.
Yeah.
right? That's your business. And so for someone to do that and then say to me, "Oh yeah, I'm actually promoting a Substack now." To me, that's okay if you were like early on Substack, but I think today the challenge with that is like, why would you push your audience into their ecosystem? It's not your audience anymore, right? And so like it may have been great to be early there, but now you're like the probably 10,000th recipe creator there. You
Right.
know what I mean? And so it's like you're literally taking the audience that you worked so hard to earn, you're pushing it in there. By the way, they don't offer integrations with third parties. It's a
Right.
closed ecosystem.
Yeah.
They own that. And so if you're doing a paid Substack and a year later you want to move that, nope, those aren't your customers.
Yeah.
And like we're now going through this with some people that want to migrate to a membership experience on top of their existing website.
Right.
And they like, I wish I had an answer for them, but there's no way to do that. They've made it impossible. So I think that's one thing. And so we said, okay, what would it look like if there was a paid membership experience that lived on top of your existing website? Well, the content creator would have full control. The content creator would own the customers. It would integrate with the other platforms where they engage with those customers, right?
Mhm.
Specifically email marketing. So if you win a paying customer, it should flow and have a tag associated with it to Kit or MailerLite or Flowdesk,
Right.
right? And like, if you decide to shut this off in a year, like you have already owned that customer, right?
Hmm.
So you can decide what to do with it. So that was one. The other was just kind of in catching up with a lot of content creators that monetize through, again, amazing companies, Mediavine, Raptive. Like that's the lifeblood of so many of our customers, and that's great. But the number one request from people in support to those creators are so many ads, is there anything I can do? And
Right.
so um, I think the intersection of both of those is like the base of the product, which is just like bring really slick Apple Pay style checkout experience to a content creator's existing website at a price point that the content creator sets,
Hmm.
that if someone buys at a minimum, they're getting an ad-free experience anytime they engage with that site. And so that means, we've worked with Mediavine and Raptive from a technology perspective to QA that. There's no like developers required. As soon as someone upgrades, the ads disappear.
Hmm.
They can cancel anytime, all that stuff. And then like level two is some of our content creators are saying, hey, there's a category of posts that I'm publishing, and I want those gated to paid members only. Or there's a meal plans page on my site. I want that gated to paid members only. So we've layered in additional tools that live inside of your WordPress to give you control if, and it's optional, if you want to be gating any of your content or experiences on top of your site to paying members, right? So that's kind of it. It's either do nothing and just set up an ad-free experience for your most loyal audience, and you'll get some additional incremental income,
Hmm.
or go lean into it a little bit more seriously um, and promote not just the ad free, but also access to, you know, gated experiences on the site.
Okay,
Right.
I have a couple questions.
I knew you would.
I do. Okay, so about the ad-free experience, I know it's relatively new, but do you have data yet? Like how successful is that? Like, and more importantly, what size are the bloggers that are seeing success with it? Okay, quick pause. Because if you've been thinking about coming to the Smart Influencer Summit but haven't pulled the trigger yet, let's talk. If you've ever left a conference fired up and then 3 weeks later you're right back where you started, yeah, we built this to fix that. This summit is designed around implementation. You won't just listen, you'll plan, you'll workshop, you'll think through your actual business, your traffic, your offers, your systems with other creators who get it.
And here's the thing, this is not a 500-person ballroom event. It's intentionally small so the conversations are real. The networking actually matters, and you're not just a badge walking around. If you're a mid level blogger making money but feeling stuck, this is your room. Tickets are limited. When they're gone, they're gone. Head to the smartinfluencer.com/summit and secure your seat. Future you will be very glad you did.
I think it's interesting. Both of our products, Comment for DM and memberships, you're inserting a funnel, whether it's comment the word link and get a DM, or um, you can upgrade for an ad-free experience. And so it is a good question. If you are super small in website traffic, this will do nothing for you.
Right.
How do you define super small?
Yeah, I want that number
Um,
or a range.
so I would say this is our brand new product. We have about 20 people live. Every single one of them is monetized through Mediavine and Raptive. So I don't actually know off the top of my head what their minimums are, but I think it's like 25,000 page
Right.
views a month.
Mhm.
So I would say if you are in that category and you're monetized or close to it, it's worth a conversation. It's not going to, what we've seen is we have plenty of those 20 now that are pacing to 5 figures of annual revenue through this and 6 figures of annual revenue through this. So that would be like
Through
our,
the ad-free memberships.
yeah,
Huh.
yep. And then we have some that are like, they've just crossed 1,000 in revenue after 30 days. We have some that have had basically no transactions. So I think traffic is probably the best proxy. And what we will help you do if you decide to do this is based off of the top performing programs that have launched, we can coach around what are the important assets to get live on your
Right.
site to make this passive.
So, like the
Um,
best practices that are happening right now.
Totally, and I can share a few if we have a few minutes, but
Yeah,
it's
let's hear it.
it's probably 2 to 3 hours of work up front can be the gift that keeps on giving, is what we're seeing with membership. So the most important asset is a dedicated membership page on your WordPress site. So think about it, it's like mysite.com/membership. And you're going to talk about what this is, why you're offering it, what they get access to, what the price is there a trial, are there any frequently asked questions?
Mhm.
The CTAs, like the buttons on that page, will get you hooked up to our checkout that we provide. And that is step one. Ideally, you put that in your top navigation of your website. That's the most important thing we've seen to conversion. Um, the next thing is you probably, if you're a WordPress blogger, have invested in a welcome series for email marketing.
Hmm.
So whether someone joins through a pop-up on your site or through your DMs with save to email, maybe that's 5 emails, 10 emails, 2 weeks, whatever it is. At some point in that welcome series, we want you to add a dedicated email. It shouldn't be the first or second or third, somewhere, call it a week in, that talks about your membership. And that's the only thing in that email. It can be a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, and that should link to your dedicated membership page on the website. right? So
Okay.
that's that. The other thing in the food vertical, um, we have seen to be really fruitful is in your recipe card, which is what most content creators have in food on every recipe blog post. You can add buttons. And we have seen that adding a new button that's on every recipe card that says remove ads.
Oh.
And you can, again, hook that up to the checkout experience.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three things that after it's set up and we would coach you through all of that, that's your funnel, right? And so, like, if you have 25,000 page views a month, you're going to start seeing people engaging with this,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Sure, would we say you should launch it on social media and all that stuff? Like that definitely will help, but that's a one-time thing typically. And so like that'll give you a boost and then it'll die off once that stuff expires on social, but it's these three things. It's the dedicated page, it's the dedicated email in your welcome series, and the button removing ads
Hmm.
on the recipe card if you're in. So, you know,
Price
it's
point, what are most people charging?
we're seeing the majority of transactions on a monthly price. I should talk about this. When you create a program, you set a monthly price and you set
Mhm.
an annual discounted price that they would pay upfront for the discount.
Right.
On a monthly basis, it's $3 to $5 where we're seeing transactions, the majority of transactions.
Mhm.
So $3 per month or $5 per month. And then, you know, the annual equivalent of those is like 25 to $50, I think is where we're seeing the highest annuals come in. Um, the majority of the conversions that we see happen on the annual plan.
Mm.
And so, you know, you think about like if you're monetizing through an ad network, you think in the terms of RPM, right?
Mhm.
And what's my RPM, you know? And so think about what that is. I don't have access to that for you, but let's say it's $30. Then think about Ben, right? Ben is your most loyal follower. For you to earn that $30 off of Ben, think about
A
that, right?
thousand visits.
Yeah.
1,000 visits. So
Yep.
that's Ben coming to your site 3 times a day,
Yep.
every day for the whole year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love you
Oh yeah, I've
both,
run the
but there's
math
no
before.
chance that I'm coming to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so imagine if Ben is willing to pay you $30 up front for the year. That's amazing,
Yeah.
right? Like that's and that like so we have not seen from anyone that's successful in the membership program so far that they've had a negative impact to
Mm.
ad revenue. It's too early to say that broadly, but I think there's a lot of content creators that are sitting there in January and February saying RPMs are lower. For some traffic's up, for some traffic's down. Like it's hard to understand exactly what's happening in the industry, but I think it's again, can you invest 2 to 3 hours to experiment in something new? And if a month from now that has done nothing, okay, it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was a shot. If a month from now you have 500 of revenue that you didn't have otherwise, like that's probably pretty good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I spent way more. I have that membership, but I
Yeah.
set it up with MemberPress. That's why I had all the
Great.
questions about it. But yeah, it took much longer than 2 to 3
Yeah.
hours to set it up in MemberPress. I have another question then. Hopefully this isn't selfish. Like I'm curious for myself, but I'm hoping someone else out there has this question. So the other type of membership you're talking about where you're like gating certain content on the site, do you have a way that you interface with carts like Thrive Cart so that someone could build that into a funnel? Because my membership that I sell that way is like part of it, it's an upsell to something else I sell you when you come in on a tripwire. Do you integrate that way?
We have no okay. We have no third-party integrations for the membership product
Okay.
aside from WordPress and the email providers
Right.
so that we can move your contact somewhere. So
Mhm.
I think we are just like we have with all our other stuff, we're listening to customers that
Mm.
are trying to
Yep.
migrate to us or onboarding and have ideas. And so,
Then subliminally, thrive card, thrive
I
card.
second that motion because then we can upsell it in our other funnels.
Yes.
so that's like a great thing because to be honest, coming into this call, I've actually never heard of Thrive Card. So
Oh,
Oh,
for me
look
to,
at us, Corinne.
and I'm
okay.
not saying that in a bad way. I love that because that's like, okay, after this, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to check out Thrive Cart and I'll probably follow up and just be like, hey, can you just help me understand how you're using this and what would make the experience better? Because
Hmm.
we really, our vision is to become like a full suite of commerce and marketing
Right.
tools for content creators.
Mm.
Yeah, because I could drop member press then, which is very expensive.
Is
Um,
it?
yeah. Yeah, for the plan that I'm on. We'll have
Okay.
a separate
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do
What
it.
like if I could replace, and I love MemberPress. They're great at what they do, but it is a lot of me having to like figure stuff out that is like on our team, Christine always jokes I'm tech support, but only because I've got 1 ounce more of proclivity for it than she does, not like a bunch more.
Sure.
So I struggle. Like I do struggle.
Sure, sure, sure.
I was
So
so excited, Corinne, for you to hear this because when I heard it, like you came right to my mind. And I'm like, Corinne is going to love this because
I
we
love
had
it.
built a membership site and just the headaches of
Yeah.
everything that goes along with it. This is no headache. I put in the 2 hours, let's say put in 6 hours up front. It's still just a fraction of what we did before.
Yeah.
And it's so much more seamless. And there's no duct tape and bubble gum holding it all together.
well, and I like that when we get to the point where I just want to cry and pull my hair out, instead I can just be like, "Hey Ben."
Well, totally. I mean, support is such a big part of this, and it's the team is amazing and we just added more on the support team.
Yeah.
So, I think the goal is really like that we should feel like a part of your team
Yeah.
more than like, oh, I gotta reach out to this company and like the support experience is going to be horrible.
I knew you were going to love this. As soon as Juliana told it to me, I'm like, I can't wait to tell Corinne all about this.
Well, the other thing I love about what Ben just said, and I feel like this is who we've been surrounding ourselves with lately. So we just had Morgan on, and he was talking about Deep Roots hosting. We interviewed him, and again, like his big appeal is he's like everybody wants to feel like they've got a guy. Right? Like this is
Yeah.
such a lonely business that we're in. Like our industry is influence and like influencing lots of other people, but we do it be by ourselves behind a computer screen, right? Like I love that, like having these people that are just part of your team, like part of your network. Um,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, I find that the services with like the host I'm with, like the service, the tech guy I'm with, like it's all those people where I feel like if I ran into the grocery
Yeah.
store, we'd like go off and get coffee or something and hang out for a bit because you just genuinely like the people.
Hmm.
So I love that.
Totally agree. Yeah. It's such a big part of it, especially in software where there's always going to be other people that kind of maybe do the same thing, even if it's harder or whatever. So it's like, it's got to be great service. You have
Hmm.
to really put a lot of thought and hire great people to carry that vision forward with the customers.
Hmm.
Well, and the thing that's great about you and people like you is that I feel like there are a lot of great tech people. Like they're very smart with tech. They can figure anything out. But then they can't dumb it down for the people that don't understand the tech in a way that you don't feel like you're talking down to being talked down
Right.
to, right? Like I don't feel like an idiot in this conversation. I feel like I'm learning a lot, but I don't feel like ever condescended to. And more importantly, I feel like you're like genuinely interested in how can
Yeah.
I, help you do what you do better. And that's kind of a rare thing, I feel like, in the tech space, just because I have one. I have a son who's very brainy. Like sometimes he forgets the rest of us aren't operating in that space. So
That's great. Yeah. That's why we encourage even our members of the engineering team to try to engage with customers as much as possible for that reason.
that's awesome. Okay, I don't think we've hit everything yet, have we? I know we've made it through a ton. You still do other stuff, right?
We have a dishwashing service. So like
Ah,
when you're done finishing a real,
yes.
Sign me up. No, you got shop the recipe, I know. And then hold on, I've got to go back to the site because there's something else. There was a meal plans. Did we talk about meal plans yet?
No,
Okay, let's do that.
we totally could. And then I'll probably need to jump
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so meal plans. Meal plans is not as new as memberships, maybe 6 months old. And the whole idea here was like a lot of content creators in food. So this would be a food specific feature, but um, have told us that some of their best engagement on their emails comes when they send out a meal plan to their audience.
100%. Yeah.
And the problem with that is how hard it is as the content creator to spend the time to make a nice document or however you're going to do it that includes the recipes with the visuals, that includes a combined shopping list that's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. Many have actually told us that even though it's so successful, they've stopped adding a shopping list that's combined because it's just a nightmare to build.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the customer's perspective, when they get that, they love that because it's like, don't make me think, tell me what to cook. I love your stuff. But like the fact that it doesn't include the shopping list in the resource that's combined is really frustrating too. So we said, okay, like this is actually a great use case for AI,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So as the content creator, let's say your meal plan has 8 recipes in it, or 7, or 6, or 5, whatever it is. You paste in the links to your recipe that are going to be in this meal plan. What we do is we go to those links, we check the recipe card, we grab the ingredients, we grab the image of the recipe, we start to populate a PDF that has the images nicely, the title of the recipe, the links if they click the image. And then we also lean on AI to basically organize the shopping list by aisle of the grocery store with nice emojis. So it's very organized and handle all the quantity calculations when you're combining that list.
That's beautiful.
Hallelujah.
And we spit that out, and it has, if the person wants, it has an Instacart checkout, it has an Amazon affiliate checkout. And so as the creator, you can decide like, am I going to use this PDF? Do I just want to copy the shopping list that's organized? You have a bunch of different assets. And some people are like religious about this thing. Like every week they're in there, they're creating a new meal plan. And then we have a bunch of other people that actually probably haven't tried it yet. So hopefully they're listening and give it a try. I think some people love meal plans and some people are like, I don't want to bother with it. You know, it's another
They are a lot of work, but that I like anything that makes them easier because because they're a lot of work, they are very popular. People want them because they don't want to do the work. So
right.
Well, this has been fantastic, Ben. I mean,
absolutely.
I thought I knew a lot just having had conversations previously with you and your team, but I know even more now.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you both for having me. It's been a pleasure. It's always fun to chat about what we're up to.
Yeah.
Long way to go, but hopefully if you're listening, give it a try and give us some new ideas.
And if our listeners want to like get in touch with you, have questions, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah. So if you go to grocerslist.com, we do monthly office hours. Come in, ask us questions. It's probably me or the team. Or you can get started depending on your follower count on a free account if you're under 15,000 followers. Or just reach out to us. You can schedule time to chat through our website as well. So we try to make it as easy as possible to chat with us live.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ben. This has been a great conversation. We really enjoyed chatting.
Thank you both. Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Before we wrap up, one more reminder. If this episode resonated with you, the Smart Influencer Summit is where this work goes deeper. Real strategy, real conversations, real implementation. No fluff, no vague inspiration, no manifest your millions nonsense. Just smart creators building smart businesses.
If you're ready to stop circling the same problems and finally solve them, grab your ticket at thesmartinfluencer.com/summit. We would love to see you there.
If today's episode gave you clarity, direction, or even just one solid aha moment, that's your cue to take action.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you found this helpful, please share it with a creator friend who needs to hear it. Smart creators build in communities.
And if you're ready to go deeper, whether that's through our mastermind, live events, or free resources, head to smartinfluencer.com and get on our list.
That's where we share the strategies, tools, and behind-the-scenes insights we don't always talk about on the podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Now go build something smarter.